Hello, I'm Alet, and I'm here to talk about Lee and I, my longtime friend, baby father, who passed away last week. Today's the 8th of March 2020, and it's a very sad time for me. We met many years ago, 1973. We met in Kingston, Jamaica. Ever since then, we've been in contact. There's never a day that passed by that we never really got in touch. I've had two sons together. One of them passed when he was just a baby, and the other one is still alive. He's 38 years old. This year, June, he's going to be 38 years old. Lee and I met, and we had some real good times. I met him as a singer, Jamaican reggae singer. And boy, oh boy, we had a good time going to different places, bars and clubs and all kind of places, performing. He couldn't get me away from him. I was behind him all the time. But in those days, the promoters and they were the ones who got the money. The singers wasn't getting no money. It's not like that anymore. But in those days, the singers were the ones who didn't get anything. But the promoters and them recording people, they were the one who had the money. And Lee didn't make a lot of money, but whenever time he was performing, he would get some money, yes. But he was never famous with money, but he was famous with his songs. I remember he did a song, did this song in reggae. There is something on your mind, and that was a big hit in Jamaica. Darling Forever, along with Peter Astin from the Clarendonians, and he was called Lee of the Clarendonians. Both of them, they did songs like Darling Forever, when they did Night Out, Night Out, here comes a night out, walking through the front door. I remember they did a song like Darling Forever, Darling Forever. And if you was alive and that time, you would know what I'm talking about. Those songs were hit. You go to the dance hall and just dance up all night long. So I met him in that time period when he was busy going around, and a man I couldn't leave his side. It was the best man in my life then. It was beautiful. The relationship was beautiful to some. There was a lot of jealousy on my side and his side. And there was a lot of argument too, but there was love. There was love. And I fell in love deep with him. And he was the only man that I can remember that I ever loved 100%. And it was great, And we had our son in America. Then he came to America after some years. And in America, reggae at that time wasn't like it is in Jamaica. It wasn't like that here in America. And so he didn't get the recognition that he had in Jamaica. So he worked as painting. He worked for a painting company. And then he launched out into his own selling and business in Hartford, Connecticut. And then we moved from New York. We bought a house here. We came here. We were together. My son was born there in New York City. And we came here in Hartford. And it didn't turn out so well because, being a singer man there and a good-looking man too, the women was running him down from all over. And disrespect started creeping into the relationship. And so I had to let that go. However, we remained friends for a year. For years and years and years, remained friends. So we are here now in Hartford for 20 years we been living here. And it was only when I would check on him every day because he's older than I am. And, I figured that, since that he told me that I'm the only woman that he ever gonna love, even though he's been with other women, but there's nobody like me. And to me, there was nobody like him either. It was just that we never really got back to where we were. Never. We separated since 2010. We have never really got back as man and woman together again since that time. However, we separated in New York, and I came here and I had to get my papers, and I had to marry someone to get my paper, and he had to do the same thing. So that caused separation in our relationship in New York. And we came here, but we came here as best friends, I should say. And then it was only last week, Sunday, he called me up and said to me, I have some money. I do. And at the time, I tell you the truth, I was so broke too. I needed extra money to make up my mortgage. And he called me up and he said to me, Size, because that's my pet name. That's my pet name. I've had that name since I was a baby. Because when I was born, I was so little. And somebody dreamt my brother and told him to call me Size. And that's how I got the name. So all my friends call me Aunt Size, my friends and family. Most of them say Size and Aunt Size, Sister Size, all kind of little name. But my mother told me never to change my name, seeing that it was a dream name. So I kept it all these years, and I never really changed it. Now, it was only last week Sunday, called me up and he asked me if I wanted $500. I said, what? Yes, I want that $500 so bad. When you're broke, $500 is a lot to you. It's a whole lot, like you win the lotto. And Monday I went out on the street and I met him out there, and I drove him to the check cashing place, and he changed the money and he gave the $500 to me. He was a very kind man and a loving father to his son. Very good man to family man. He would never let me hungry. There was times when he would, have the last $10 and he would say, here, take it, because I'm a man. I can go out there and, whatever, do whatever I have to do, but you're a woman and I don't want you going out there calling people love and all of that. And, so he would give me whatever he had in his pocket and go without. That's how he was. And he would make certain that there was food at all times for me. You see him coming home, and he would be coming home with bags and bags of grocery, stuff like that. He was good like that, but he was very jealous, ignorant, but he was a nice man otherwise. We had a good friendship after we broke up. We was getting along better when we broke up than when we were living together. And I would check on him to see if he was okay. So last week when he called me, I went out there and I stood, and he was standing on the sidewalk of this place where he hangs out at. And I looked on his face and I saw a look, that wasn't like him on his face. And I asked him, I said, are you okay? And he said, why? I said, your face don't look so right. And then he said, he's not sleeping so good. I have a pain. He touches used both hands to touch his belly areas, any area. And he touched it and he said, I'm having a pain here. I don't know. Seems like this pain is going to take my life. And I'm like, so why don't you go to the doctor? And he told me that, go to the doctor. But because of the coronavirus and everything going on, he was a little, didn't want to go. He didn't want to go to the doctor. But I encouraged him to go to the doctor. Anyway, we left. After he gave me the money, I left. And came back home to my home. And he was out there still. And then later on in the night, I called him. I said, Lee, are you okay? Because he told me of what was happening to him. And he said to me, I'm okay, man. What you want? You know, in Jamaican way, you say, what you want? So I say, nothing, man. I just want to, in other words, what do you want? So I said, nothing. I just want to, I'm just checking on you, see if you're okay. And then he said, I'm all right. And I called back again later, and he said that he was okay. That was Monday. Tuesday, I called him, because I would check on him every day. So I called him up Tuesday. And when I called him, he said, I didn't get no answer. And I called back again. I didn't get no answer. So I said, you know what? It's not like him, because he would never, even if he was with another woman, he would answer me still, or some later on, or right then and there. And he didn't answer, so I thought it was strange. So I went to his hangout spot. He wasn't there. So then I said, okay, let me go up to his house. I went to his house. I knocked on the front door. Nobody answered. I knocked hard. Nobody answered. I knocked like a police. Nobody answered. And then the next thing is, I called the landlord, and he answered. And no, he didn't answer either. But I left him a message, so after a while, he answered me back. And then he said to me, Lee's okay, man. Lee's okay. So I said, no, he's not okay. He's not okay. It's not like him to get my call and don't respond. No, he's not okay. So he said, but I'm not feeling so good. I'm having the flu. I'm not so good. I can't come to open the door. But anyway, he said, I will send someone to open the door for you. And the next thing is, a guy came down, opened the door. So I said, where is Lee's place, room? Because I've never gone up on this floor. We would meet out on the street, etc. And he would come to my house, but I've never gone to his place. Upstairs. Anyway, he came, he opened the door, and I went upstairs. I knocked on Lee's door. He showed me Lee's door. I knocked on it. He wasn't in there. He wasn't answering. And I'm like, he's in there. Because his van is outside, and the door to his van was open. It wasn't open, but it was closed, but not locked. So I said, well, it's not like him. He would not leave his van unattended like that outside. So anyway, I knocked harder. He still didn't answer. So I called the landlord. He came with a screwdriver and something, and he opened the door. Oh my God. There was Lee lying down on his back in the bed with his hands sprawled off in the bed like that. And his feet was on the floor, and his back and his cell phone was beside him. And he was just lying there, dead. Man, I thought I was my heart just started going, poop, 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 poop. So when the landlord called the cops, in 5 minutes they were there. And when they came, they wanted to take me to the hospital, because I was just poop, 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 poop. But I told them I was okay. And then they told me to sit down. And because they didn't even do no autopsy on him or anything, based on the fact that he's that age and he's and because of the coronavirus, they didn't do no autopsy, which I'm a little disappointed, because I wanted to know what he died from, And so that's what happened. But the only thing he told me that showed sign, his face wasn't looking so hot like he usually look, So I could see that there was something wrong with his face. But I couldn't imagine that he would die that night, because he didn't look like he was going to die. He was dying or anything. And I'm so sorry, because I thought I thought I would be there. He left his insurance in my name and all of that. Not a big insurance, very small insurance. That just only to bury him. No money is left, but it's okay, because he had an insurance, because he didn't want to die without having an insurance. So he made certain that his insurance was in my name, and he knew that I would do the necessary, because I would never, not that type of person who would just take the money and throw him into a furnace. No, not that kind of person. And he asked me never to do that, never to throw his body into a furnace because he didn't want that. I'm not doing it. So right now I'm in the preparation of his burial and all of that. I'm just making this video because I want to remember him, and I want to have this as that my grandchildren and them could see later on, because Lee died leaving one son and 7 grandchildren. The one son gave him 7 grandchildren. So, and they are of different race, the black and white and just name it, Spanish. He has everything in his. My son is wild, wild guy. So he has all these children, and he loved them all, and they're all nice, beautiful children. And I remember one of the little girls, she came, and when she heard that her grandfather died, Tina, she was crying. She was just crying. Broke my heart, man. But I tell you something, I'm glad that I'm here, because if I was in Jamaica, I wouldn't be able to come back, seeing that everything is happening down there. They're stopping with the coronavirus. There's no plane. So I wouldn't be able to come back to bury him. So his body would have to be there for a long time, But I thank God that I'm here. And in everything, we have to give God the glory and thanks. And I'm just happy that I'm here. But I miss him so bad. I had no idea that Mr. Hubert Lee from the Caledonians on his own would just pick himself up and go this time. But Mr. Lee, wherever you are, if you could ever hear me, which I doubt, I hope your soul is resting in the promises and the glory of God, because Lord God is real. And I know that the thing that I said to him before he died, I asked him, I said, all these years you've been alive, you want to tell me that you're going to die and go to hell? He said to me, how you know that in Jamaica? How do you know that? In Jamaica, and he said, how do you know that? And me said to him, and I said to him in English, I don't know, but I'm asking you the question. Then he said to me, I pray every day, which I know that of a fact that he would pray. He said, I pray every day, and I have my radio on all the time. I listen to the gospel all the time. It's beside me all the time. And I pray every day. And me all right. Meaning that he's okay. And so therefore, don't worry about him. So I just hope that his spirit, his soul is resting in Jesus. Because it would be too bad to live this life for 75 years and then end up in a place like hell. That would be too bad. And that is not good for anybody to do. So, because in this life, we are not taking nothing with us. Absolutely nothing. Doesn't matter what you have. Cars, house, money. All of these things is unimportant. The most important thing is to help others. If you have, help others with it. It don't make no sense for you to have a whole big bank and account, this, that, and that. And then at the same time, you're going to end up in hell. Give some to someone, and then I don't have any to give. But when I do have, the little that I have, there is not a check. I never receive a check. From the time I know myself and I'm receiving paycheck, whatever, I have never kept it for myself alone. I always share with others. So please share with others and let them know that you love them. Everybody you talk to, before you end the conversation, even if it sounds a little awkward, I love you, my sister. I love you, my brother. May God bless you and keep you. Bless them. Bless everybody. Because that's what it's all about. How you treat your fellow men. And God, don't you ever forget him. Because this breath that we have in our bodies is not ours, but it is for the Lord. He loaned it to us. And sometimes, somehow, he's going to require that breath back. Okay? So remember, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man can enter the kingdom of heaven without going through the Son of God. So no matter what people saying, Jesus is not the way, etc., etc. You know, read the Bible for yourself. And Jesus tells us in the Bible that He's the way, the truth, and the life. No one can see Him without going through Him. So may God bless you. May God make His face to shine upon you and give you peace in Jesus' name. Amen. Send this to someone else. Let them know that God is real and death is real. My friend Hubert Lee is gone. I miss you, Lee.